Hey guys, we're live. I'm Jeff with eBay Addicts, and this is my special guest here, the casual flipper, coming to us all the way from Canada. Man, how are you doing today?
I'm excellent. Thank you for having me.
Well, awesome, awesome. Thanks for coming on and hanging out with me on short notice, man. And hopefully, because I haven't talked to you in a couple of months, so hopefully you've had a good weekend and everything. Today, guys, we're going to be doing a listing live. So if you have questions for our guest, he sells a lot of books and stuff on Amazon, and you sell on eBay as well, right?
I do. I'm getting more serious with eBay now, but really it's all Amazon. But I'm passive, I guess, on eBay at this time.
Yeah. It's funny, guys. I tell you all the time, you got to list. It's funny. We were just talking before we got started today. If you just list items, they will sell. I'll show you guys. This is an item I just sold. I listed this yesterday and it sold today. This is Simpsons season 6. I found this laying around in my shed. I've got like maybe a quarter, 50 cents tied up in it. And it sold for $24 plus shipping.
Gotta
So
love it.
if you just go and list items, you'll wake up and you'll hear ka-ching, those sell. So it's just a wall of numbers, of averages. So I wanted to say hello to a few people in the chat. We got Danielle C says, excited to see who wins the giveaway today. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, I'm doing a giveaway on my channel. We just hit 3,500 subscribers this week. So I'm
Nice,
doing
man.
a $100 eBay gift card giveaway. So I've gave everybody 7 days that want to enter, and then we're going to do a random comment generator, and then we're doing a giveaway.
Nice.
And I want to say hey to Wendy. She says, hey, Jeff, and the casual flipper and friends. Hey, Wendy. And we got
Hello.
Brittany, all bossed up, says, that's so true. Eventually, everything sells eventually. Yeah, for sure.
Yep,
Hey,
totally.
all bossed up. I saw you on Derek's channel the other day. I saw you on his live stream, so you did good. She was on like the Hump Day Hangout, I think, last week. So I just wanted to say hello. But yeah, guys, it's funny. I was just it's funny when you turn into a reseller. It's like the way your brain thinks changes. Because I woke up today and I was like, I saw somebody on Instagram that sold one of those Texas Instruments calculators, and I was sitting here thinking, like, man, I think I have one of those in my shed. I need to get it listed, And it's like other people are thinking about a score of a basketball game or something, and you're like, man, I know I have one of those. Like, I know I have one. It's in a box.
Not only
Right.
the way you think changes, but also the way you use social media. Like you just said, you see it on Instagram. So when you're on social media, it's actually becoming more of a beneficial tool for you rather than just like a waste of time social thing.
Right. And I was just sitting here and I was thinking, like, man, I was like, I know this like little Texas Instrument calculator. I saw the guy sold one for $50, and I'm like, man, I know I have one of those in my shed. I just got to go find it. It's like I'm doing my own spring cleaning. I got to go pull it out and list it. So I wanted to
This
say,
is a
hey,
great time for resellers. Spring cleaning.
man. Yeah, especially it's a good time to go through the stuff that you don't want, the stuff that's taking up space, or you're just like, all right, I got to donate this pile or pitch it and get rid of it. Here's a pile of stuff that I'm listing, and then here's the stuff that that's just, it's either garbage, donate pile, or list pile, right? That's it. So I wanted to say hello to Lola. Penny is in the chat.
Hello,
Brittany
Lola.
Allbot stuff says congratulations on the subscribers. Thank you. I appreciate it. We got Simply Dana is in the chat, says hello, Jeff, and the casual flipper in the chat. And she says, exactly, social media can definitely be a tool. Hey, Angie Resells is here. Hey, Angie, how are you doing? I caught your show you did on Saturday night with Katie Reeds and Emily Conway. Thank you for coming by and hanging out with us. Brittany says, I have been selling things on Facebook Marketplace around the house too because I'm moving soon. Well, awesome. I'm glad that you're moving.
Great
guys. Occasionally, if I have bigger, bulkier items that I don't want to ship on eBay, I'll list them on OfferUp. I don't know if you have OfferUp in Canada, but it's just like a local marketplace, and you can sell stuff to people locally, and then it cuts out your eBay fees and PayPal fees and shipping fees. People just show up, they hand you cash, you hand them the item, and you're going about your day. So it's kind of like Craigslist in a way. So I think you froze.
We use Kijiji and Facebook Marketplace here.
Items today. Let me see what happened with maybe lost connection. Oh, there we go. Sorry guys, where I'm at here in Florida, it has been raining all day long. So if the connection jumps out, it's not my fault. It's just one of those things where we just lost connection for a minute. So Brittany says, I have OfferUp too. Well, awesome. Yeah, I mean, just if you're in the process of moving, you got to get, kind of downsize, consolidate things, just let him fly, let it rip, So, man,
Exactly.
I'm gonna list some items here, guys. I have a whole box of CDs. This is what I'm gonna be working on today. And the casual flipper, how many items have you listed so far today?
497, and I have
Well,
maybe only 50 left.
right. And this is your full-time job. This is all you do is reselling now, correct?
Yeah.
And what else have you been selling besides books? You just been selling a lot of books lately? Like what's been selling for you?
Books. The books is all I've done. So I started, I've dabbled in this and that and the other thing. I tried wholesale, which was good, but I've done retailer arbitrage. Oh, so if you go to my channel, you'll see all that crap. I've done it all. In the short term that I've been reselling, but I just focus on books. It just resonated with me. So all I really do now is books, and that's kind of where I focus. That's where I have my best. That's where I do my best work. So it's kind of where I focus.
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, I do a lot. I don't sell a ton of books, but I sell a ton of media, DVDs, Blu-rays,
Mm.
video games, CDs, VHS tapes. As items like this, you can list on eBay, and they give you so many free listings. Like I think if you have the basic store, they give you like 10,000 free listings in the select
Mm.
categories, so you pay zero insertion fees. So at the end of the 30 days, if your item doesn't sell, it'll auto relist. You pay zero insertion fees, and it's really easy for me to ship. I just throw it in a 6x9 padded envelope, throw a shipping
Yeah.
label in it, ship it off to the customer. And, like I said, most of it's media mail. Video games go first class, but most of the stuff is media mail. But I mean, yeah, that's nice. I wanted to say hello to Wendy is in the chat. She says weather is horrible here today. And Brittany says, oh, wow, I can't even get 20 listed in one day. Says hats off to you. She says, why is it you could get so many done? Well, he's listing on Amazon. So do you want to kind of explain your listing process to the people in the chat? And by the way,
Yeah.
guys, if you guys aren't following the Casual Flipper, his YouTube and Instagram is linked in the description down below. So if you want to go by and check his channel out, because he does YouTube, he's on Instagram, and he also has a podcast.
Yeah. 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 So for me, like, this is something that I was actually kind of curious about. Is I use software called Turbo Lister, and what it does essentially, because with eBay, you're creating your own listing, which is what it is. With Amazon, there's a listing that already exists, and you're just hopping on it. You're just one of many sellers on one listing. So all I have to do is connect my inventory to that listing. So I have this software called Turbo Lister, which literally all I have to do is take the book, like this guy here, scan the barcode, and then on my computer now, I see that book, and I just click my price that I want it, and what condition it's in. That's it. So after I do,
when you scan the barcode, it pulls up the listing just like that. You're not sitting there taking a dozen photos. You don't have to fill out all the descriptions and all that. It goes by pretty quick, right?
Yeah. So I scanned it. It shows me the book, and now it shows me everyone else what they have the price. So I'm going to go put this at $21.40. It's going to pay me $7 when it sells, and then I hit list. So now that listing's created. It prints off this barcode that I just put on the back of the book. So now when I ship this into Amazon, they'll scan this barcode, which will put it into my inventory as I have one book on this listing. And away it goes. So it's definitely not as daunting as eBay. But I always wondered if there was some software that made listing easier with eBay. If you did have, if I wanted to list $100 on eBay, like it'd be painful.
Well, it just depends on what you do. What I try to do is get items similar to this that's new in the shrink wrap. So maybe I'll grab this and I'll do something similar to yours. There's a little barcode. I'll scan the barcode and I'll find somebody else's listing. I'll hit sell similar. And then maybe 9 times out of 10, I'll either take a photo front and back, or though somebody's cover art will be up there. And if you have a brand new item new in the shrink wrap, you can use that box art that's already on eBay. And then you could just go through. And then from that point on, you already have the title, you already have the description, you already have the photo. You just kind of put in the price that you want to list it for, put in your shipping code, what they're charging for shipping, which I usually do media mail, which here in the States, it's $2.89. And then, I'll put the price in. So let's say hypothetically, if let's say if this one sells for $14.99 and I've got maybe, 38 cents tied up in it, right? So I'll just put in $14.99. Then from that point on, like I said, if there's a box art listed, I'll use the box art, or I'll take a quick picture front and back. Boom, it's listed. So it's pretty similar. Like I said, the main thing is that I think sometimes people will list items maybe a stuffed animal or a toy or something, and then
Yeah.
it's similar to Amazon where you have to pay those storage fees every month. Well, on eBay, you
Right.
get stuck paying these insertion fees. So if they just recently, if you guys don't know, they just did this spring seller update, and on this new update, now started April 1st, on the basic store, it was like 350, and now it's 1,000 free listings in any category. And then the premium store, I think they're bumped it up to like 10,000 free listings in any category. So I think that's the thing that kind of tripped people up, because they're in the back of their mind, they're like, man, I don't want to pay these insertion fees. And I'm just like, well, bro, just list, just get busy listing items, and this stuff will sell. Just like when you have a book, every book that you sell isn't going to be a $50 or $100 book. Like every item I list, like this one right here sold for $24 and I paid 50 cents for it. But not every item I list is going to be $24, $25, $30 item. So I'm cool with it, because if I have an item like this and I have 38 cents tied up in it, and then I sell, let's say it sells for $15 and I sell 100 of them, it adds up. And your cost of goods is relatively low. You have pretty decent profit margins. And another thing is on eBay, I find weird one-off items like this that nobody else on eBay has. So instead of me charging $12.99 or $15.99, now maybe it sells for $20 or $25, because I have nobody else that competes against me that has that listing. I'm the only one on eBay in the world that has it. So somebody is like, hey, I want to buy this particular item, doing the shrink wrap. Hey, just so happened, Jeff, eBay Addicts is the only person that has it listed. It's like, if you want to buy it, you can't get it at Walmart or Target or Best Buy. You have to come get it from me, and you have to pay my price. And maybe my price might be $24.99. I'm sure you have a similar thing with books on Amazon, where some books maybe are $10 and some of them are $100 books, right? It's just the rule of supply and demand. That's all it is. It's not like I sprinkled any pixie dust on it to make it happen. It's just supply and demand in the marketplace, right?
Do you check comps on everything before you list it?
Yeah, man. They when you pull up the listing, you can look up their sold comps on eBay, and you can look up the items that are listed. The first thing I'll do, I'll pull one up and I'll show you. The first thing that I'll do is I'll look and see how many people have this particular item listed in this category, and I'll see what it's selling for, right? And then, like, here, this one, for example, I just pulled this one out of the box. Okay, this is Travis Collins. Okay, now you can see right here, this person has a sponsored listing. They're selling theirs. I don't know if you can see it. The brand new is selling for $12.95 plus shipping. Okay, so the guy has theirs listed for $12.95 plus $5 shipping. And then what you can do is you can hit right here under the sold items, and it'll show you. It doesn't show any of them sold in the past 90 days. But like I said, this guy has his listed right here. Here's another listing for $11.99. But anyways, for an example, like this one has no sold comps, but this one is right here. Like I said, new is $12.95. Used is like $5 because it's new in the shrink wrap. This guy has it listed for $12.95. Then the next thing you can do is you click right here under
so
filter.
Would you list that even though it hasn't sold in the last few months?
Yeah, because what happens is, right, so then you look, what I'm going to do next is you can go to filter, and it'll show you all of them that are listed new, right? And then you can scroll down. But yeah, I mean, heck yeah, you'll list it, because you've got, see, I don't have next to nothing tied up in the item. You know what I'm saying? When you have less than 50 cents tied up in the item, you just list it. So this guy, like I said, he has his, okay, so this guy has his listed for $12.95 plus shipping, okay? Now he's charging $5 for shipping. So all in, he's charging $13 plus $5, right? So he's charging $18 for this item. So I'm probably going to list mine at $14.99 and then charge media mail shipping, which is $2.89. So it's similar. I'm in at, my all-in cost is $18. His all-in cost is what? 5 plus 3. His cost is $18. So yeah, I'll just go ahead and list it. And then, like I said, now what I'm doing here, I'm going to go here to at the bottom of the screen. I'm going to hit right here. I don't know if I could see the bottom of the screen. It says sell one like this. So I'll click right here where it says sell one like this or sell similar. And
sometimes
then as soon as I do that,
there. Do you know why?
Do what?
So, on certain listings, that option is not there. I've noticed that.
I don't know why that is. I think I don't know. Some of them, I think, if it's overseas or if it's in a different country, it doesn't work.
Oh,
like if I find one that's in the
sense.
UK, it's not compatible. But then, like for this example, right? Yeah. I just hit sell similar, and you guys can see that already has the box art is already on the screen. So I don't have to take any photos. I'm going to go back and edit the title because I don't want mine to say quick shipping with a lightning bolt on it. So I'm going to go through, delete that out. I'll keep the part in where it says Travis Collins, the name of the CD. It says new seal, and I'm going to leave that in the title. Then I'm going to scroll right here under the price. Then I'm going to put my price in, which is $14.99. Takes a second. And then from that point, I'll hit this button here. And then as you can see, everything else is kind of already filled out for you. You see right here, I put my price in, $14.99. Medium L shipping's $2.89. And then all I have to do right here, see at the bottom where it says list your item for free. I just hit that one button, and now, boom, it's listed. And then I go on to the next one. It doesn't usually take that long. I'm just, doing baby stuff to show you guys in the chat how easy it is to list. It doesn't take, 30 minutes. It goes by pretty quick. So I'm sorry if I bore you guys in the chat, but this is, I'm kind of an eBay nerd. This is the stuff that we talk about. So let me say hello to a few people in the chat.
See the comment.
You can pull it up on your phone. Grab your phone and then pull up the video on the YouTube stream, and you can see the chat and you can type it in. Got it. All right. I'm going to say hello to a few people in the chat. Angie Resell says, do you say they have details about the books, library books, writing, ECT, or do you literally put the condition? Brittany Bossed Up says, I'm using Inventory Lab. What's the name of the software that you use? And Lewis just jumped in the chat, says, hey, guys, I wanted to say hey to Meritic7. He says, hey, Jeff, and the Casual Flipper. And I wanted to say hello to Learning Reselling with Me. How are you doing today? Thanks for dropping in and hanging out with us.
Hello.
We're just having we're having a listing live today. So if you have questions for our guest, drop it in the chat. He's a full-time reseller. Angie asked a question, says, do you have to put the details about the book on the listing if it's an ex-library book or writing, or do you literally just put the only option in the condition? Like, do you have to fill that in as well, or how does that work?
Well, that's actually a very good question. So when in my software, when it brings up the book, it actually asks me the condition. There's acceptable, good, like new, and new. And then there's collectible as well if it was autographed or something like that. But not only that is you can actually put notes. So say it's acceptable condition, but you could also have, it's old library book, spine in good condition, pages crisp, something like that. Shipped, fulfilled by Amazon. So yeah, you do have the condition in the book, but it's very quick because you can actually have notes already in there that you just click them. So when I hit acceptable, it already attaches some notes to it. So it's just like I scan the book, it's acceptable, it attaches notes, and away it goes. But I only try to list books that are in like good condition or very good condition anyway. I try to avoid, the acceptable condition because I really want to over promise and under deliver is kind of my philosophy. So yeah, no, to answer the question, I do condition them, and there are notes as well for sure.
Okay, awesome. And Brittany asked the question. She says, I'm using Inventory Lab. What's the name of the software that you use?
So if I was in the States, I probably would be using Inventory Lab, but it's actually not available here in Canada. So what I use, it's called Turbo Lister. It's a part of the suite that comes with Scoutly. If you go to my Instagram or my website, there should be links that'll get you all geared up with that.
All right, awesome. And I had Lewis jumped in the chat. I wanted to say hey to Lewis, all the way from Germany. Yeah, I know he's popular, man. He just recently hit 1,000 subscribers. So thank you for coming by and hanging out. And we have the Twin Flippers is here. What's up, Twin Flippers? Thanks for coming in and hanging out with us. And Angie Resells is here. So guys, we're going to be listening. And if you have questions for me or our guest, I'm curious, man. How is things going with you and your business partner as far as you guys? With your business, how has that been going?
Well, I mean, it's a great question. I mean, it's so how do I put this elegantly? So Amazon hit us with some restrictions. We had some issues with distributors and getting rid of books. So there was this 1 week where everything kind of blew up. And in that week, we decided, that it'd be best. It basically came down to a one-man show. Like the business couldn't fulfill two people. So we just kind of made it a one-man show. So for right now, it's just me. I'm the only one running the ship right now. And that's fine, but business is good. Like so I'll explain. I just gotta send this quick message and I'll kind of explain something to you. There we go. So basically what happened was Amazon in Canada put restrictions on inventory sending on, and the strange thing is on older accounts. So if your account was 9 months or older, they put a restriction saying that there was only a certain amount of inventory you're allowed to send in. The US has a similar thing with their IPI, but this was different because it was very strict. So I had maybe 4,700 listings in Amazon, and they restricted us to 1,700, which cripples the business. So I created a corporation, and I actually had to create a brand new account that has a different name on it, different address, different bank, everything. And because it's a new account, it's actually unrestricted. So that was kind of a lifesaver. But the downside is like there's just a lot of uncertainties there, right? Now it's like you're combating the platform that you're selling on, and when it's your full-time income, there's some logistics that aren't super good around that. So I've decided to I'm in the process of actually building a Shopify store where I can sell my own merchandise from.
Yeah.
I'm setting up ways to get donations, and I've got some charitable causes I'm working on. Plus, I'm starting to do more on eBay as well. So business is good. You know, I'm sending a ton of stuff in on Amazon, but I'm also focusing on my own web presence. I want to build my own brand locally, and I like eBay as well.
All right, now we haven't talked in a while, man. So talk a little bit about what is your average cost of goods for books when you have books shipped to you, because you buy big pallets of books.
Yeah, I have that all right here. So let me take a quick. So since my business partner and I kind of split different directions, I had to create kind of new tracking software and stuff like that. So the numbers look different now. So when I look here at the cost of goods, so my blended cost, so I do a mixture of like wholesale, I guess you would say, and retail, and my blended cost is $1.15 per book. But when you look at like the wholesale side of things, my average cost is about 90 cents per book.
Yeah, I was going to guess probably around $1 a piece. So let's say if your buy cost, let's say is a buck, and then your profit margins range, like you said, that one book you're going to make about $7 profit, which doesn't sound like a lot, but you said you listed over 400 of them in a day. So I mean, let's just say hypothetically, if you guys can do the math, $7 times 400, that would be what, $2,800 worth of merchandise that you listed today.
Well, this shipment that I just did for the wholesale side of things, max potential profit on it is $3,000. Last week's shipment was $1,800. The week before that was $1,400. The week before that was $3,000. So I'm averaging $2,500 a week in potential profit.
Right, but you said 3,000. I said 2,800. So even though you're in Canada and I'm all the way in Florida, I was pretty close. I was about this close to guessing right. It was like, it's like the closest person winner that bids without going over is the winner, for Price is Right. So I was pretty close.
If you do the conversion, you're actually probably 3,000 Canadian to USD is what? So it's 2,400.
It's not exact.
So no, it's fine.
Right. So it was really close. So I wanted to say hey to the Lone Star Picker. He says hello, folks. He says I love the idea of building your own brand. I think I dropped the StreamYard link in the chat. I hope it's the right one. So if you guys want to jump in and hang out with us, Lone Star Picker says it's 80 cents Canada to $1 US. It's pretty close.
Yeah.
So, but if you're averaging, you said per week is about $2,000 a week of a potential profit that you're shipping in, that's pretty good. And then you said your buy cost is pretty low for books, and you just get a whole shipment in. So if you don't mind me asking, what do you do with all the ones that are duds that you can't make you get a book in and it's because the thing is on Amazon they charge you a pick and pack fee, they charge you a storage fee, they charge you to mail it into their fulfillment center for FBA. So there's even if you get a book for 50 cents or $1, if your buy cost is low, you still have fees that Amazon's taken out of that. So what do you do with all the books that are kind of duds where you're just like, I can't make any good money on Amazon? Do you list them on eBay? Do you redonate them like to the Goodwill, or what do you do with them?
I do a combination of things, and that's where my brand is going to help a lot because one, I want to set up some relationships where I can actually donate them to people in need, which is just a good thing to do that I want to do, but it adds credibility to your business. So I'm in the process now of linking up with seniors homes, teachers, just really daycares, people that need books. So I'm going to start sorting like kids books or the ones that the seniors want, so I can donate them with just a good cause. But not only that, is that I can use that as well to incentivize donations. So my buy cost would be zero. And I'm also setting up a program where every 10 books someone donates, I'll plant a tree. So that's going to be a good thing, I think, as well. But to really answer your question, what do I do with them? So at this time, I get them recycled. I linked up with a recycler. They come, they pick them up, they shred them, and they make stuff with it. So it all does get recycled, but I'm trying to reduce that as much as possible through things like I mentioned, the charitable causes. I'm starting now to make like bundles that I'll sell on eBay. So I've listed some of those, and Facebook Marketplace has been good. I'll just put bins of, a certain niche out, and I'll say, come pick books, 50 or 10 titles for $15 or something like that. So just trying to get creative with it, but essentially they do get recycled, the ones that I can't do anything with.
Well, I just had an idea. Have you thought about maybe bundling them up in lots of maybe 50 or 100 or something and selling them on eBay? Because I don't know what the shipping rate is, but here in the States, everything that's, if it's a pound or less, it's like $2.89 for media mail shipping.
It's expensive here, like extremely. It's actually cheaper. Like if I were to ship my hat across, like halfway across the country, or just say let's say 2 states over, ship my hat and with a tracker on it, that's $12 for my hat. It's crazy. So it's actually cheaper for me to ship to the US than Canada, because I can use like an American company that kind of maneuvers their way around it. So I could do something like that, but I basically have to only do it into the US, which kind of is fine because the US is a way bigger marketplace anyway.
Well, I was just saying that even if you got 50 cents or a book, and let's say you sold, let's just say for the illustration, let's say you sold 10 books and somebody paid $5 for them and you got 50 cents a piece, and plus they paid shipping, that would still be better than recycling and getting nothing. So,
no, I agree.
I mean, because I don't know if you know this, but here in the States, people buy like mystery boxes of stuff all the time. You could just come up with a big box. Like, this is the example. I just listed all these yesterday. These are all audio books, and you could just put like a little box together and say, hey, I'm selling a big bulk lot of books. And maybe there's 40, 50 of them in this lot, 100 of them in this lot. And then say, you could auction them off. You could start the auction off at $1, or you could just say, hey, I'm charging whatever it is, whatever you think is a fair price. You could say, hey, I'm charging $25, $30, $40, $50 or whatever. Let's say $50 for 100 books, and just say they're going to be random. And then you can ship them off that way, because people buy big bulk lots of CDs, DVDs, video games, Blu-rays. So if you had something like that of books and you shipped it into the States and the customer paid shipping, like I said, media mail shipping here in the States is like $2.89. So it's not going to be like a deal breaker. Yeah. I don't know. I'm just throwing it out there. Sometimes. Well, I'm just saying, even if you got 50 cents a piece a book, it's higher than zero. You know what I'm saying? As opposed to you donating them or recycling them, as long as they're in good condition, The
one I don't know. I'm just struggle with at times is like, I feel like my time lately, where it is just me now, and like I'm going through a silly amount of books, building my store, family, whatever. I need to be very thoughtful of my time. So I like that idea, and I think I might actually do something with that, and as a trial, because that's the thing, you got to try things. I might do it, I might sell it, but if I'm only making $10, then I got to spend the time to actually ship it, bring it to the post office, and it doesn't make sense, and I wouldn't do it. But I like that idea a lot, so I'm just get the gears rolling about how I would do that. So I'll definitely kind of put some thought onto that and see what makes sense. I want to make sure that it's worth my time, if that makes sense, because it sucks that I can't monetize them, but it also, I throw them to this bin, they come get them, but it keeps the flow going, and I'm always having more in, right? So it's a balance for sure. But I do like that idea, and I am gonna put some thought into it.
Well, I don't know. I'm just throwing an idea out there. Like I said, the main thing to me, the biggest roadblock is the shipping cost and all this, because if the shipping cost is going to be, $20 and they're paying, let's say they're paying $25, $30 for a big box of a book, and then they're paying $25, $30 for shipping, that's like the biggest roadblock. But other than that, other than that, like There are people there are people that sell stuff like that at swap meets, at flea markets, yard sales, and they may buy them to you from 50 cents and then turn around and sell them at a flea market for $2 a piece. So there's still money in there for them, because if they're getting cash, they're not having to pay all the eBay fees and all that stuff taken out of it. It's just
Right.
cash. So I
Yeah.
don't know. I'm just throwing it out there
No,
as
like
an
that. I'm
idea.
gonna have to look at the shipping costs. I shipped a book. It was a nice book. It was a kind of a rare book, similar to a Dr. Seuss. I
Yeah.
thought it was a good price, but listening to you talk, maybe it's not a good price, but it was $7 to ship it, but it was tracked. And for us, that's actually very cheap. So if I'm thinking, if it's a big box, it probably would be around $20.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You would have to
Yeah.
before you even tried to make the listing, you would have to get a trial
Yeah.
box, put it on a scale, weigh the box, and then you would have to see what it would cost for shipping. That's the biggest roadblock in all this, is the shipping cost. Because if
Totally.
someone says, "Oh, I'm getting in a good deal and I'm paying 50 cents a piece," well, if let's say they paid $50 for 100 books and then it costs another $30 or $40 for shipping, now they're not getting them for 50 cents a piece. So I don't know. I don't sell enough books, so I don't know. I'm just trying to come up with an idea that would help you. Because I have duds as well. I mean, that you have duds of DVDs and video games, and there's duds as well where it's like, because I don't, unless I can list the item for at least $10 on eBay, I don't bother
Yeah.
listing it. If it's $5.99 or whatever, $6, I just don't want to feel like listing it, because like you said, time is a factor as well.
Mm-hmm.
So if I have
Totally.
something that's like $6 or whatever, I'll either take it to the pawn shop, they'll give me cash for it on the spot, or I'll just redonate it just to get rid of it. Because like I said, when you're in your workflow and you're cranking out listings, it's like you're in your zone. You're listening to music, you're cranking out your listings. You don't want to stop and be like, "Oh, I have a whole pile of junk here that nobody wants. Let me sit here and sort through this pile of junk," So but I don't know, it's just an idea, just something I was thinking about. Because like, for example, let's say you have some video games and the discs are scratched on the games, and you don't have a disc resurfacer. There's people that will buy them in bulk lots. You can say, "Hey, I've got 20 video games that are scratched up," and the guy that has a machine that can fix all the scratches on them, he may buy them for $1 a piece. And whereas if you threw them in the garbage or donated them, you'd get very little to no money. But if you said, "Hey, I have 50 of them, 50 of these discs, they're scratched up, they're in not working condition," somebody will have a little machine that can fix them all up, and then they'll be able to resell them. And maybe they paid $1 a piece, whereas you're like, "Oh, okay, I made $50 instead of zero." So I'm just trying to think outside the box of other alternative ideas. Lone Star Picker says, "I try to do as much commerce with Canada with other t-shirt sellers, but shipping is a big consideration. I wish global shipping made it cheaper and easier for countries with borders." Yeah, I had a guy the other day that bought something from me, and I think the cost to ship it
I
into
agree.
Canada was like $10 or $11 or something. He said $2.98 a pound for media, then it goes up to $4 for 3 pounds. And he says, yes, a balance, but it is also running a business overall. But yeah, like you said, your time is valuable. If you had time where you could spend time with your family or going out to dinner or something, and instead of dealing with a box of duds books, it's like, what's more appealing? Do you want to go chill with your family? Do you want to go out to dinner? Or do you want to sit here and deal with a bunch of these dud books? But I'm just trying to think outside the box. There's got to be some kind of way that you can still, monetize that, but also you don't want it to sit there and take up a bunch of space as well, So
Totally.
I was
Yeah.
just thinking about that. Yeah. So what has been new with you lately, man? What's been going on with you? You have your YouTube channel, your podcast. You've been doing reselling. What's been new with you?
Yeah, that's kind of the main things. So we moved to this new house. It's got a garage, so it just made more sense. I was able to sell my last house for a bit of profit that I could roll into this house, so that was nice. The reason I bring this up is because there was a room in this house that was bare, quite large. So we're actually, amongst all the reselling content creation, we're renovating up there or over there. We're going to run like an Airbnb as well. So we put it in a bathroom, some walls up for a bedroom. I like new floor, so it's painted and stuff like that. So I'm excited for the Airbnb. There's going to be some nice income, I think. But not only that, I've recently, probably some people are on here, I've started to actually create content on TikTok. Very simple, easy stuff. And I've been repurposing that onto Instagram. Trying to get more thoughtful with the podcast as well. Trying to get different kind of content. Yeah, that's kind of what I've been up to. And obviously, like I said, I've listed 500 books today, and that's no easy task. So there's been a lot of that.
Well, how is your storage situation? Good, because before you said you had like a big pod, like a big storage pod
Yeah,
where you're storing all your merchandise. Do you have
I
like
have a big garage now. It's like 30 by
so
30. It's huge.
so you have plenty of room now for like
Yeah,
incoming pallets of merchandise and storage and all that stuff? Do
yeah. I
you
just
do any
had
merchant
12
fulfilled,
pallets.
or is it all Amazon FBA?
Right now, it's all FBA, and since this restrictions thing, it's made me think, which is a good thing, So I've really been thinking heavily about doing merchant fulfilled to the US for high profit books. Because I scanned one book in Canada, it was worthless. No, like zero sale history, complete garbage. And then I
Yeah.
switched over to the US and it had like 60 sales in the last 9 months and it was like a $50 or $60 profit. And it's like, oh geez. So it becomes a logistics thing. Like it becomes logistics. So I do have some help sometimes. Like my friends, I hire them and they help me, which is super nice because it gives me more time to do stuff. The reality is, I just don't have the time to scan it all twice for the U.S. and Canada. So I got to figure out a way that I can like identify the ones I think might be good and just scan them in the moment, or actually hire a casual employee. Like I don't. Yeah, I'm kind of murky in that area right now.
I don't know, man. Like to rescan the item twice, that would be excessive. Like if I had to go through it every time,
Brutal.
like I found this Brett Michaels CD and had to go through it and scan it twice and say, oh, well, what's it selling for in Canada? What's it selling for in the US? Like I think that would
Yeah.
slow down your business. So instead of you getting 400 items listed today, what if you only got 150, 200 done? Because you're
Yeah.
having to do the repetition of scanning the barcode twice. So I
Yeah.
don't know if I like that idea. There's got to be some kind of way to look at it, like live time. There's got to be another way to look at it, like better, you know?
Well, I was almost thinking if it was like maybe do it based on condition. So say I get this lot, there's 1,000 books in it, and there's like 10 that are pristine condition. Maybe just focus on those or something.
Yeah, you could do that. So I wanted to say hey to Travis R says, "What's up, y'all? Hey,
Travis.
man, we're just hanging out, chatting. I've been listening to some CDs today, and we're just hanging out with Casual Flipper, and he's talking to us all about selling books on Amazon and eBay, and we've just been kind of catching up and hanging out with him today on this weekend. Hopefully, you're having a
Yeah.
good weekend. If you have questions for our guest, you can go ahead and drop it in the chat because this is his full time gig is reselling. So, when you were like getting started, what was like your difficult? Did you have any problems sourcing, finding books, and finding merchandise? Like,
Oh yeah.
how did that go?
Totally. Yeah, I don't I think my story is pretty it's I don't know the word, it's pretty typical and not special. Like it same my first month, 2 months, 3 months were like exciting, fun, but in terms of making any real leeway was horrible. Like I didn't know what I was doing. I sent in a bunch of garbage. I lost a bunch of money. It was just a train wreck. But I wouldn't change it because that kind of led me down all the different avenues. I know what not to do. I can tell you that's for sure. Um, but yeah, like I did start with books. Um, and then I started thinking all books isn't scalable. Like this, like it's kind of a good way to get into it, but I don't know if that's where I want to focus. So I started opening wholesale relationships. So I have a bunch of wholesalers, and I started doing retail arbitrage. What I didn't like about it was at the time, like I started my business on a credit card. I had no money, like credit card, living paycheck to paycheck, and doing wholesale and retail arbitrage was requiring a lot of capital to make some real money. And I found myself when I was learning, I was just literally, I was just putting myself in the debt with not seeing a lot back. So what I found with books is it's extremely low cost of entry. So I can go out and source, $100 is what I'll spend at Value Village, and I might actually get return. Maybe I'll get $800 back. So the ROIs were just crazy, and the cost of entry was extremely low. So after months of just dabbling, messing around, trying things, books just felt right to me because of the situation I was in. And then once
Right.
I learned it and started scaling it, like it just one thing led to another, to where now I just like I'm bleeding books out of my ears. They're all over my house, like they're all over the garage. Like it's complete
I can
carnage, but
definitely relate. Yeah.
I love it, and it's good. And you can just, I realize no matter what niche you're in or whatever you're doing, whether it's books, people are going to, like, people always say books is not scalable, it's not a good business, blah blah blah. But the biggest factor to whatever you're doing, whether it's art, it's how creative you are. Like, how creative can you get? How can you find new ways? How can you do things a little bit differently? And that's really the benefactor for me, I'd say, for sure.
Right. So what was like? Okay, how long does it take you to list 400 books in a day? Like, could you put 8 hours? How long does it take you to list 70 books?
Well, I don't mind it. Like, it doesn't, I can't really tell you how long it takes, because I'm farting around. Like, I get up this morning, I make my coffee, I start listing, but then I might, like, we went to IKEA. So I stopped listening, went to IKEA, looked at furniture, bought some paint, fart around the house, do whatever, started listing again. Like, it's kind of I don't mind taking a whole day, 2 days to list if I can do it in my own time. I get the
Yeah.
jitters. I can't sit for too long. So if I'm sitting there for
Yeah.
3 hours, like, I got to get up. I got to go do something. So, but like I have to have it done by Monday, or by Sunday night. So if I get them all in the house Friday, by Sunday night, they have to be done. So however long it takes, maybe 2 days, whatever, 3 days, as long as it's done, because they have to be shipped Monday morning. Like, I need them out. So it's more, there's like an arbitrary deadline based on when I need them out. But I'd say, like, this, I've been working on it now for, well, actually, this has been on Friday, Saturday, and now Sunday. So 3 days.
Right. But you got a big shipment together. Like you said, it's $2,800 of potential profit. And that's not all right away. You have to wait for them to sell through. But still, I mean, that's $2,800 worth of merchandise that you're getting listed on the platform to be sold. So, I mean, that's
probably 8 months. I'll get that over a period of 8 months, roughly. But when you're doing that every single week, so that means next week's shipment, I get over the next 8 months. Next week's shipment over the next 8 months, and then the last 2 shipments are over the next 8 months. So it's like a compound.
Yeah, and so when you said that you have $2,800 worth of potential profit, you already subtracted your cost of goods out of that, right?
Yeah, totally. Yeah, and that's like that's where things get a little funny when you're scanning this way. I already own these books. Like, when I'm scanning them, I already own them. So when I'm scanning them, like, people have asked me this before, because I'll share screenshots and stuff like that. I'll actually have zero cost of goods when I'm scanning, because I already own the book. Like, I'm trying to withdraw as much cash as possible from each pallet, because I'm not cherry picking them. So I kind of act as if they're free. But then when I go to do my profit tracking, all totaled up, I take out my cost of goods.
All right, cool. Yeah, we have Travis is in the chat. He says, "Do you get certain kind of books?" And he said, "I saw a bin of books at Walmart today for $5. I wanted to buy them, but I didn't know which ones to get." Well, what the casual flipper does, he gets he buys big wholesale lots, so he'll get a whole pallet of merchandise of books, and maybe his cost of goods is, 90 cents, $1 a piece, and so anything else above that, after he pays his Amazon fees, his profit margins. That he just scanned one a minute ago, and it sells for $21, and his profit margin is $7 for that one book. But he's listing 400 of them in a day. So even though you're like, oh, $7 isn't a lot of profit, well, multiply $7 profit times 400 books that he listed that day. Now the profit margin starts adding up. So I wanted to say hey to BK from the Rockies, just stopped by. He says, like, share, subscribe, and comment. Thank you for coming by, BK. We appreciate you. And Travis wants to know, is there a certain kind of book that you need to get? Do you need to look for, like, fiction or nonfiction? Or what would be the one that
Travis
we need to look
on
for?
There. In reference to that, I'm looking at the screen. The bin of books he saw at Walmart today, like, that is something that I would mess with, because I also do retail arbitrage. Like, I go to, like, Goodwill, Salvation Army, Value Village, stuff like that. So what you'd want to do in this situation, Travis, if you've seen this box of books, is whether you're on eBay or Amazon, it doesn't matter. You would just do the same thing as any other item. Like, you would just scan it in the app. If you're on eBay, check the comps, see what it sells for. And if you're on Amazon, do the same thing. If you're in the States, look at the sales rank. So if the sales rank's like 700K, like or better, meaning 1 to 700K, if it's within that sales rank. And I would probably say the price, like it sells for at least double what you're going to pay for, it's probably a good item. So that bin of books for $5, since it's at Walmart, it's probably not profitable, to be honest, but it's good to be looking for stuff like that. And what kind of, do you get a certain kind of book? I get everything, which I like because there's seasons, like there's flows and like everything. So if it's Christmas or if it's back to school or if something, if there's a certain vibe in the air, like right now, like there's some hot topics and those kind of books are selling extremely well. So it's good to have a mix. So you're always kind of with it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I wanted to say hey to Katie Reeds is in the chat. What's up, Katie Reeds?
Hello.
I saw you on the live stream with Angie Resells and Emily Conway yesterday. So I hope you're having a good weekend. We were just talking about your favorite topic, selling books. So you came to the right place. So
yeah.
So we're just hanging out. I'm trying to do a little bit of listing today and seeing how that goes. So
I'm getting a break. This is nice.
Yeah. So if somebody is getting started, because the thing is, one of the things that he says, okay, I will look at books, then I'll go to the Goodwill. Thanks. Yeah, I've actually bought books at the Goodwill and sold them on eBay before. If you've seen like there's you can look them up. Like I remember I bought books like Rich Dad Poor Dad, or just different books will will stand out and you can pick them up really cheap somewhere. And a lot of times you can get them for free. If you go like leftover people's yard sales on Saturday or Sunday, they'll just give it to you for free. And then whatever ones you can resell, you list them and resell them. And the ones that are junk that aren't worth any money or you don't feel like fooling with, you can just donate them at the thrift store. Just get rid of them. Get them out of your house. So you can actually get stuff like that for free or really cheap. I know some thrift stores will even sell you books for a quarter, 50 cents a piece. You just got to look around.
Totally.
Yeah, Katie Reed says, awesome. Thanks for watching. So, well, yeah. So what I was going to ask you is the biggest thing that I hear from people when they're trying to sell on Amazon is they say they're gated all the time. When you first get started, you're not gated in selling books, right?
Well, books and media is kind of like where, so picture it like Amazon's like a big playground, right? And when you first get there, no one really knows you and they're all kind of scared of you. So they're kind of like, okay, you play in this little playground called books and media. And if you're really nice and good there, we'll let you come over to this side. So you can get, it's called auto ungated. So as time progresses, as you get good reviews, as you get sales, you get open up to other categories. But yeah, initially, really, mostly you're going to be restricted or gated on everything, like almost everything, it seems like, especially nowadays. But books and media is kind of where they let you start to kind of build some traction, learn the ropes and stuff like that. But you can get unrestricted at any time. Like if you make the connections to the wholesalers, distributors, you buy an item from them with that invoice, you submit it to them, and they'll get you unrestricted. So, but yeah, when you first make your account, you're put into a little kiddie pool, and you got to play nice for a while until they let you kind of off into the world.
Yeah, I was going to talk about buying stuff in wholesale lots and then send it in the invoice, and then they'll ungate you in certain categories. But I was going to say that can you talk a little bit about what is it, like the IPA score or something that Amazon has, where if you don't have good metrics, they limit how much warehouse space you can use. Do you guys have that up in Canada as well?
No, so they call it the IPI score, and like I can't comment on it too much because I just don't know enough about it. But I know that the premise or the thesis behind it, which is simply, if you're sending in high quality stuff that's turning, they're going to give you a good score. You can send as much as you want in. If you're sending inventory that's not moving, you get a low score. They're going to restrict how much you can send in. Makes a lot of sense. So I was like, Canada was always unlimited for everybody, and I assumed at some point we would get an IPI score. We didn't. They just blatantly put this arbitrary restriction on people that were 9 months. So basically what they've done is experienced sellers are limited and new sellers are not, which I'm sure they have some logic. Like, it's Amazon. I would think that they have smart people working there. I don't know what the theory was behind this, but at this time, experienced sellers have heavy restrictions on what they can send in. New sellers do not.
Really? Okay. So it's I
Yeah.
was saying it's not like you have unlimited space. So that sometimes they limit how much space you have in the
Yeah.
warehouse, right?
It used to be unlimited for everyone, and now it's not. So who knows?
Well, hey, while we still have you on the live stream, man, go ahead, drop some knowledge on us. Give us like maybe 2 or 3 tips that would help somebody out if they want to sell books or they want to get into reselling on eBay and Amazon. I saw that message you dropped on Instagram the other day, and someone was like, "I can't find any items to sell," and I'm like, "Bro, it's literally everywhere. Like if you just look out,
Everywhere.
like I can't go 2 blocks without going somewhere because there's stuff everywhere. There's yard sales, there's thrift stores, there's pawn shops, there's clearance stuff at Walmart. I'll find stuff at the Dollar Tree. Like you can literally get stuff
Yeah.
everywhere. You just have to like take time to actually go out your door and look and stuff. There's literally stuff everywhere. Like I said, I can't even go, especially on the weekends. I can't even go a mile down the road without somebody having a yard sale. So go ahead and drop some knowledge on us because this is your full-time gig.
Yeah, so I would say like there's no one tip that's going to make you or break you. There's no 2 tips that are going to make you or break you. There's like so sometimes people ask me to kind of like low key mentor them, kind of help them, whatever. So things that are going to determine your success, in my opinion, who am I? I mean, I am what I am. But what I think is going to be very important is before anything else, the first thing is the mindset of the seller. If the person is too like comfortable and not driven or kind of a negative mindset, probably not going to work. So I know it's not talking about a lot in business and reselling, but like your mindset is super important. It's like extremely important. I can't stress that point enough. And if you're thinking, oh, my mindset's good or it's not good, there's ways around it. So what you need to do, in my opinion, is consume content that's positive, not rah, but like positive in the terms that your influences are looking out for you, pushing you in the right direction. So you got to have good influences around you. You got to be consuming educational content. Like you got to learn, you got to improve. So for me, like working out, meditation, super important. I know we're talking about business, but I think it's hand to hand because how healthy you are in your head is how healthy you are in your business. I think those are very important. So those are the first things I would kind of look at for yourself is maybe start listening to some business podcasts and some very intelligent people that maybe you enjoy whatever it is they're doing. If they're good at their thing and they discuss it on podcasts, that'd be good. Audiobooks, reading books, that kind of stuff. But then when you're looking at more specific to like reselling on Amazon or eBay, one, I think it's super smart to follow a lot of accounts on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, or wherever, and see what other people are doing, get some ideas that way. That's super nice. And then if you're after books specifically, like I got a ton of content that's all free, but not only me, there's a million other bookstores out there. Like just consume some of that content, do some learning, but just enough that you can start. The worst thing to see is people get stuck in analysis paralysis where they just read, learn, get overwhelmed, and then do nothing. So it's almost like just get enough education that you feel like you know what you're doing and just start. Once you start, you're going to come up with some good questions, seek the answers, and I think you'll have a good way. And I would say just real quick, another quick tip is don't sink your ship before you get started. Like when you're just starting, my big mistake was I got too excited. So try not to get too high or too low on anything you do. So if you come across a great opportunity, like there's a million of them. Like don't put all your money on this one thing when you're just getting started because it might not be as good as it seems. So try not to get too high or too low. Get the knowledge and take care of your mindset. Those are kind of my keys, I would say.
Yeah, it's important to take care of your body as well. I've been going to the chiropractor the past couple of weeks, and because it's like if you don't feel good, it's kind of hard to get up and motivate yourself to list items and do things you're supposed to do. If you're just like, yeah, I'm in pain, like I don't feel like going anywhere or doing anything. So it's just called life. So everybody has issues. So, but yeah, you just gotta, like I said, you gotta be around like-minded people, try to stay motivated, and it's good to interact. Like what we're doing now, you can hang out and interact with other people. If you struggle, because I feel like nobody has problem going sourcing. Everybody has problems listing. So if you have problems listing items, find somebody else that you can list items with you. Be around other like-minded people. Find out a way where you can maybe have an accountability board or an accountability partner, something to get you motivated. Just keep in mind, like, for example, when I'm listing items, like I just listed this yesterday, and I'm thinking to myself, I'm depositing, you know, a $24 check into my eBay bank account, and I'm waiting for this check to clear. Well, the very next day, it sold for $24. So just try to use some mind tricks to get you motivated, because, like I said, you sit down, you list items, it's magic. The stuff sells, you know. So just got to get out there and hustle, man. Guys, listen, we've been streaming for about an hour. I have the Casual Flippers. His links to his Instagram and YouTube is down below. So go by and follow up his YouTube page. Give me your final thoughts, bro, and we'll let you go.
Yeah, no, I appreciate coming on. I always love it when we chat. This kind of stuff kind of inspires me to maybe do something similar of my own. But if anyone has any questions, definitely reach out. Definitely, you know, if you're just stumbling upon this, definitely follow eBay Addicts. Great content. So I just want to say thank you, and I hope everyone has a super good rest of your day.
Awesome. I just wanted to say hey to a few people in the chat. I wanted to say hey to Little Debbie, Katie Reeds, Travis is in the chat, BK from the Rockies is here, the Lone Star Picker, and I wanted to say hey to Wendy and Twin Flippers, Learn Reselling with me. Brittany was in the chat, Lewis, Meritic7, and I wanted to say hey to Angie Resell. So if I missed you in the chat, I didn't do it on purpose. I will see you guys tomorrow. I have a brand new guest coming on. Maya Flips will be on tomorrow at 3 o'clock. So I'll see you then, and I will announce the winner for the giveaway. Today's the last day to enter. We're doing a $100 eBay gift card giveaway. So I will announce the winner to either tonight or tomorrow morning, and then I will get that sent out to you. So other than that, you guys have a great day, a great weekend. I will see you tomorrow. Bye, everybody.
See ya.